And here we are at Chef. That's not even a cool knife. There we go. If you think this is overboard, you should see what the developers of Chef name all their functions. Let's cover that right now. Now I have to admit, the strangest part about Chef and the fact that we're talking about it right now is that it really doesn't integrate with any Cisco environments right now. It did at one time integrate with Nexus, but currently it does not. So I'm guessing we're talking about this in the hopes that it will someday, or maybe there's plans, I don't know. But it still is one of the most advanced configuration management options out there for sysadmins, and it's really a huge fan favorite of developers. So whereas Ansible's all about us, network engineers, and also sysadmins, Puppet was for sysadmins, and now Chef, that's for the software guys and gals. Similar to Puppet, it also is written in Ruby, so it is Ruby based. But I will say this, it is the more complex option than any of the other options. Similar to Puppet and dissimilar from Ansible, it also requires an agent. Agnet. Agent. So as of now, Ansible is the only agentless option officially. Now are you ready for some kitchen-based analogies and references? Buckle your seatbelt. So just like Puppet, we have a central server, and this is where the configuration, the automation, what we'll call recipes, I kid you not, here in a moment, this is where it lives. But differing from Puppet, and this is why developers just salivate over this, see, I'm keeping with the theme here, they also have the concept of a workstation node. That's my workstation node. You like it? And this might be a workstation of a developer, and it will have Chef tools installed. So Chef is installed here, and the developer comes up with recipes. So a recipe is a collection of resources that determines the configuration of a node. So some new definitions here we got to look at. First of all, recipe, we got that. But then within the recipe definition, we have a resource. What is that? A resource is like one particular action or configuration of a server. So like let's say Linux, I want a web server installed. Like I want Apache installed. That would be the resource part of that recipe. And then node, that's the device, the server that we want to control. So we'll say up here is our Linux node with our Chef agent installed. These recipes containing resources will determine how he's configured. We then put these recipes in, any guesses? Any guesses? Come on. Come on. We put it into a cookbook. Of course we do. So we'll store our recipes inside a cookbook, which as you might imagine is a collection of recipes, just like a regular cookbook, except these things are recipes for servers. Delicious. This workstation will actually have what's called a Chef repo, basically a folder on their desktop that stores their recipes and their cookbooks, or their recipes inside their cookbooks. So now I have my Linux server that I've put together some recipes, and I put them in my cookbook, and I have just how I want them to be. How does he get that configuration? Well, I upload my recipes, my cookbook, to the central server, and another great reference, it's going to be on his bookshelf. The central Chef server has a bookshelf full of cookbooks. Now I have to say this because I think it's hilarious, but how the workstation interacts with the server, it's actually a tool called, hold on, where'd my stuff go? Oh, there it is. It's a tool called Knife. So this is dangerous. The workstation node interacts with the central server, uploading his cookbooks with a tool called Knife. Can I flip this? If I get hurt on this nugget, did it? Ooh, I'm not doing that again. And the last step in the process, the node installed on the Linux server, whenever he gets hungry, whenever he needs to make sure his configuration's perfect, he'll reach out to the server in a pull method, because much like Puppet, he's pull based. He's not pushy. If you're hungry, come eat. So he pulls the configuration, pull, and that is Chef in a nutshell. Food, nuts, like that, that's right. So Chef, while it can't play with Cisco stuff at the moment, is pretty cool. Loved by software developers. It lives by its kitchen analogies. It's written in Ruby, and also the recipes in the cookbooks are written in Ruby. So you'll want to know some Ruby. But each Chef, each developer can have Chef installed on their personal computer, put together their recipes, what their individual actions that they want to happen on their controlled nodes, the servers we're controlling. They put them into a cookbook, and they use a knife to upload them to the central server, and the central server is the place that, if the servers, when they get hungry, which they will reach out to the server in a pull method to pull down some configuration. From his bookshelf, by the way. Yeah, he has a bookshelf of cookbooks. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.